Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's remind you then of our breaking news story at this hour. 2 soldiers were killed and 3 more wounded at a South African National Defence Force camp in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The SA troops are part of the Southern African Development Community Mission in the DRC, deployed to support and assist the government in its efforts to bring peace, security and stability in the region. For more on this story, we now speak to SANDF Spokesperson Siphiwe Dlamini. Mr. Dlamini, thank you so much for your time. Just talk to us about what you know so far.
Well, what we know so far, it's exactly what we have indicated in our statement. The incident happened yesterday around 13:30 Eastern DRC time, where a mortar was landed in one of our bases in that area, and of course we suffered 2 fatalities and 3 injuries. At the moment, the details are still very, very sketchy, and our investigators are on the ground trying to piece together how the incident occurred. And until such time, there's little we can say further than what we've said in our statement, because the information is coming slowly but surely in drips and drabs.
Have the families of those that have unfortunately died and those that have been injured been communicated with? And also, who are you in contact with in the DRC?
Well, we have. I can confirm that our families of the 2 members of the Defence Force who unfortunately lost their lives have been informed as soon as the incident happened, and that simply means arrangements that are related to that begin in earnest. We have our members who are in the mission. One of a commander of the deployment is actually South African, and we are in touch with that group of people.
Maybe talk to us about this particular deployment. How many soldiers do we have that are in the DRC, fighting or at least as a peace mission, and also where exactly they are deployed in the DRC?
Look, this is a new deployment. It's fairly fresh in terms of us coming together. Remember, this decision was taken by the SADC summit, which was held in Angola, where the presidents of the region took a decision to deploy the SADC mission in the DRC, particularly in the Eastern DRC. So the deployment is done in phases. There is what we would call forward elements or forward contingency. These are the group of people that deployed first to scan the environment and make assessment of what would be needed on the ground and take with them some equipment. And the actual phase of those that are going in the next phase and third phase will come as and when the deployments and the forward elements settle in. So it's not a once-off thing that you get all members in the DRC at a go. Remember too that there is still the UN mission in Congo, DRC, under MONUSCO, and as they phase out the DRC in the DRC, the SADC mission will also phase in.
This particular mission has been widely criticized by some members of the South African community in that most of these soldiers are sent there as casualties. How do you respond to that, particularly because there are also domestic issues in South Africa where many feel that 2 billion rand could have been better spent? Just your comments on that?
Well, we are cognizant of the concerns that are raised by South Africans, and indeed we have put in plans in place to actually mitigate all those concerns, and we do not take the concerns of South Africans very lightly. but there are discussions in government around this deployment and the cost implication. So we have actually prepared all those plans in relation to how we see this panning out, and there's discussions at a very, very high level. But I must say we take the concerns of South Africans very seriously. May I also add that though the one of the pillars of South Africa's foreign policy position is to contribute to the creation of peace and stability on the continent and the world, and this is one part. The contribution that South Africa is expected to make in terms of bringing peace and stability on the continent, and not only continent, the region in particular. And we've since 1994 conducted 15 peace missions related to contributing as a country to peacekeeping in the region and beyond.
All right, Mr. Dlamini, let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for your time. Of course, that was SANDF spokesperson Siphiwe Dlamini. It is our breaking news story of the day. 2 soldiers were killed and 3 more wounded at a South African National Defence Force camp in the DRC.